Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Art Regner's video blog for FoxSportsDetroit.com. I'm coming to you from Ann Arbor, Michigan, the site of Michigan's victory over UMass today by a score of 63-13. As a matter of fact, I want to show you Michigan Stadium because it's still lit up and it looks great. So bear with me. Here we go. We're turning it around, and there you see the big Block M in the background. God, I love this stadium. I just love Ann Arbor. So there you have it, and I am in the visiting coaches room again. This is the UMass coaches room. They're a little bit more messier than the Air Force guys, but then again, the Air Force guys, you know, that discipline and all that stuff going, so it speaks well to the armed forces at least. But UMass, this is a really messy room, guys. You know, pick up after yourselves. Your mother would be ashamed. But with that said, where is Michigan at now after 3 football games? A blowout loss, a blowout win, and then playing an unconventional team in the Air Force Academy that has that triple option that Michigan is never going to see. Well, I asked that question to Brady Hoke during his post-game press conference, and hopefully if I've queued it up right, we're going to get his answer. That's me.
I think we're getting a feel, but you know, these kids have worked hard, and they've worked hard throughout since last January, and they have high expectations, and it's our job to be honest and be real and push them to where they can meet those expectations. So, you know, I told them the same thing I think I told you. It's great to win, but if we want to win a Big Ten championship, we need to improve a lot in a lot of areas, and they start up front on both sides of the line of scrimmage.
Okay, the reason why I played that, and I wanted you to hear it from Brady, is because right now, I don't know if you can really get a legitimate feel for where this Michigan football team is at. They had 585 total yards today. Denard had 397. Third down conversions, which have been a real problem. Brady stressed that last week against the Air Force. UMass was 7 of 17, and I think a thing that is really alarming about Michigan thus far is the fact is that the defense can't get off on the field. Third and long seems to be a problem, and that is something obviously that I think he's concerned about. My question to Brady that you heard some of his answer to was, you don't look like a coach that just won by 50 points, and I think the reason is this. Quite simply, and you heard him, Brady, stress about the line of scrimmage, is Michigan is not a physical football team. Nowhere near the physical football team that Brady Hoke wants it to be, and I think that that's a little bit disappointing. I think Michigan's most physical football players are freshmen, redshirt freshmen, and sophomores. And because of that, because they're not physically mature yet, even though they have the physical mentality, that I think Brady Hoke is a little bit worried. And I think that that's really what it comes down to. Last year against Michigan State, Michigan was thoroughly beaten up. You know, I know Spartan fans don't like when I talk about this, but really, Michigan State did Michigan a favor last year by beating them, and beating them so soundly, and physically beating them up, because Michigan had a bye week after State last year, and they used it as an actual game week where all they worked on was being a physical football team, physical technique. Even though I think Michigan lost to Iowa after Michigan State, the fact of the matter is Michigan was a better football team and a more physical football team after they lost to Michigan State. I think after these first 3 weeks of the football season, you're going to see Michigan's coaches this week stress being a more physical football team. I think that's where, and I think Brady, again, because he stressed the line play, but you could just see it. He sat down, he talked about it, he just wasn't happy. I think some of it was a little bit disappointment, I think some of it was anger, and I think some of it is deep down that he knows that where I want this team to be, which is a physical football team, we're not there yet. As the season progresses, as the young kids, and Michigan's playing a lot of young kids, and as I told you last week, they're going to continue playing very young people, especially on the defensive side of the ball. And I think the offensive line's got to ratchet up a little bit too. I think at the point of attack, defensively, and offensively on the lines, Michigan is nowhere near where Brady Hoke wants them, and they're not physical enough. So I think that as the season wears on, Brady's probably hoping the more reps that the young kids get, the underclassmen, shall we say, the better Michigan will become, and maybe by the time they get down to Columbus, because they didn't look like a juggernaut today, Urban Meyer, against the Golden Bears of California, that maybe Michigan will finally be where they're at. But, what kind of football team is Michigan right now? I think the key will be how they respond next week on the road, where they haven't been real good. It's really been a slippery slope, the road for Michigan. However, they do seem to play well against Notre Dame in South Bend, and Denard Robinson seems to save some of his best performances or most memorable performances against the Fighting Irish. So I think if you really want to look at where Michigan is at, well, we'll get a truer test next week at about 11 o'clock. Next Saturday night after the game is over, where Michigan truly is as a football team. If they're able to ratchet up the physicality, shall we say, I think Michigan could still have a pretty productive year. If they can't, well, I think there's going to be some growing pains. So that's it. Physicalness. Being a physical football team. That's the key to Michigan. That's where Brady wants them. And right now, based on his post-game press conference after their 63-13 win against UMass, they're nowhere near the physical football team that Brady Hoke wants the Michigan Wolverines to be. Until we meet again, everyone have a safe and pleasant one. I'm Art Regner, checking out from Ann Arbor. See ya. Bye-bye.